My people, internet is on fire. Like Nigerians are not sleeping. So since yesterday, Tinubu introduced his classmates in Chicago State University, Diggers Association have been digging out some facts about this particular man. So according to the news, they said that Tinubu's classmate, Alex Zigma, is allegedly an arms dealer. My people, as you can see in this video, this is when he was allegedly arrested. So, according to this particular person, he said Bola Tinubu went to Chicago State University in 1977 to 1979, while Alex Zigma went to University of Illinois in Chicago in 1991 to 1995. Bola Tinubu is 73 years old, while Alex Zigma is 58 years old. Chicago State University is not the same as University of Illinois in Chicago. Those are two different schools. There is no way the two men were classmates, as they did not attend the same school. This was a stupid, thoughtless lie. It is as daft as saying someone who went to Kwara State University and the person who went to University of Illinois as classmates. And also, when Bola Tinubu was in Chicago State University, little Alex was only 10 years old. I expect his tireless army to start defending this blatant fraudulent lie as usual. Zombies with zero brain, zero honor, zero conscience. But the truth needs to be plain said. The person now finally said, Bola Tinubu is an unrepentant criminal liar. My people, this one hot too. He don't cast for all these old cargoes that call themselves Nigerian politicians. These people thought that this is before they can lie on our faces and they will go scot-free. But right now, as they talk now, so Diggers Association will start digging some things out. And right now, look at what Nigerians have digged at, my people. The truth is gradually coming out. Like, honestly, I don't know when this Tinubu Chicago State University saga is going to stop, because people really want to know what really happened. Did the Tinubu attend that university or not? Because up to now, it's still not clear whether Tinubu was in Chicago State University or not. Anyway, let me allow you guys to take a look at this video and see what Arise News is saying concerning all the trending news that be trending, especially since yesterday and today in Nigeria. My people, just take a listen.
3 nuclear sites in Iran. A senior Iranian official had told CNN that Iran would continue to fight until it achieves lasting peace, and that it will view remarks from Israel and the US as a deception intended to justify attacks on Iran's interests. I mean, Dr. Mati, we saw this video, especially that one in Qatar, where the mall was already shaking. Broad daylight, you saw that. And I think you also shared some videos as well for family members in Qatar, seeing this sort of attack at the time. But now I believe that even Israel's military defense has said that Iran has flouted that ceasefire that Donald Trump was touting yesterday, a few hours ago. Just about an hour ago, they're saying that they're going to launch a full attack at this moment. Go ahead.
Okay, the question to ask is this: what are we dealing with? Are we dealing with choreographed theater, a big show, or we're dealing with escalating tensions, or we're dealing with a fragile ceasefire? These are phrases that we'll put in. Choreographed theater, in the sense that the US attacked on Saturday, Iran threatened on Sunday, Iran retaliated on Monday. And in all of these conflicts, Iran said, oh, we informed Qatar before we attacked Al-Udeid air base belonging to the Americans. We also informed the US. US is saying, President Trump is saying, oh, we thank the Iranians for informing us. Now, he says there's complete and total ceasefire. Will the ceasefire be complete and total? So that is the question. Because Iran says, if Israel attacks us, we will fight back. Israel has not said anything. So I don't think that, there's enough certainty. I think that the situation is still very fluid, it's still very fragile. However, what we can hold on to is that with the promise of the ceasefire, we have seen that European stocks have improved, Asian stocks have also improved, Wall Street stocks have also improved, oil prices have gone down by about 2%, whether it's WTI or it's the benchmark, global benchmark, Brent crude. That is the only thing we can hold on to. But I raised the point earlier that there are residual issues that have not been resolved. And the big residual issue is about Iran's nuclear weaponry. This was the basis on which the US said, let's negotiate for the 60 days, and things just went south. So are they going to say that Iran should no longer or will agree not to have nuclear weaponry again? Except there is an inspection of the extent of the damage. What Dan Kane, the chief of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States, calls, BDA, that is Battle Damage Assessment. Until they do that, we don't even know the truth about the extent of severe damage, King calls it, or obliteration, Trump calls it, or a partial obliteration. I think, we are at a turning point in terms of the crisis in the Middle East. However, I go with what the Pope has said, what Antonio Guterres, the UN Secretary General, said, and what leaders of the EU have said, that look, common sense should prevail, good reason should prevail. There should be a resort to diplomacy. If there's a resort to diplomacy, we will have seen a missile attack, hypocrisy-driven movement towards peace. But our concern as ordinary people is to say that the world needs to be peaceful.
Yes.
It's a very fragile situation in which we have found ourselves. And it will affect all of us. Mm-hmm. If anything happens, if the Strait of Hormuz closes down, if there's any further escalation, even ordinary people sitting on this table will feel the impact.
Absolutely.
In our pockets.
Yes.
Because the pandemic of empty pockets will be further extended.
Absolutely, and you are right. And also there's been protests across the world. In Europe, in New York, over the weekend, there were protests even yesterday, and against this US bombing of Iran. Even in Nigeria, there are protests. A Shiite Muslim group known as the Islamic Movement in Nigeria publicly condemned the US attacks on Iranian nuclear sites and Israel's continued strikes within Iran. The group staged a protest in Kano to show solidarity with Iran. Prominent members of the group criticized the US-involved strikes as illegal and an act of aggression against an independent country. They also warned that the US made a mistake by attacking a country that could retaliate. There were also protests in Katsina as young people took to the streets to stage demonstrations in support of Iran. Let's take a look at Katsina.
Ayatollah.
I mean, there you go. This is a Shiite group, and you know that Iran is obviously a Shiite nation, obviously, and you would see that they would come out to protest against these U.S. bombings as well.
Obviously, they will protest because it's Shiite to Shiite. There's a level of comradeship. But the most important thing is, let's hope that the protests are peaceful and there are no escalations, because we've seen how these Shiite protests have resulted in the past and all of this going on. But as regards what happened yesterday, I mean, this is just another merry-go-round by President Trump. And that's why we keep saying leaders in nation matter a great deal.
Yes.
That if a leader, we have a leader that we cannot talk to, we cannot, make very strong emphasis about to be able to talk to and rein in, then there becomes a problem. Exactly what is happening in America. The same Trump said, complete obliteration at a point. Now the taco syndrome has come in. He's backed out one too many times. Now he's calling for peace. Now they're saying there's a ceasefire. It was needless in the first place. What we've always said is that there should be a leader in America, if you want to ask at a standard, that should be able to call Trump in. I mean, rein Israel in when Israel starts on the shenanigan. Because when you dial back in history, all of these problems in the first place was caused by this same Trump that went to renegotiate and renege on the JCPOA agreement in the first place. The agreement was working. Iran was already complying. Trump and his home, once they come in, they said, "Oh, the agreement is not hard enough." He listened to Netanyahu, and then they reneged on the agreement. Then Iran started, enriching uranium. Then the katakata started. So it is as a result of his own leadership failure that we got here in the first place. There are facts on ground. The JCPOA was working. And please, we should not throw the world into what it is today.
All right.
So I'm not surprised the shares are protesting. Definitely, there's going to be some level of
comment on all the stories together.
Just very quickly, thank you for bringing the update, because I mean that will probably go down as one of the shortest ceasefires in history. Israel has already pledged that they will be attacking Tehran anytime very soon. But however, in response to that, Iran are also saying the head of the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran is saying that Iran has started doing the damage assessment, and they have started working towards rehabilitating those nuclear sites that were damaged on the during the American airstrikes. So many moving pieces to this. How does it connect to Nigeria? Of course, you've already, you've connected the dots together. I'm glad that there's a reassurance that Nigeria is safe, Abuja is safe.
Yes.
We're alert, ensuring that this doesn't spill over, because the concern that a lot of people have is that Iran does have a tendency to want to support and push and use terrorist organizations as proxies. So we don't need any spillover of those connections, because we have enough issues with insecurity already.
Absolutely.
And we are already overwhelmed with our fight against terrorism.
I like that point. We have enough problems with insecurity in Nigeria.
The story you brought about the reaction by Minister of Information.
Yes.
Well, I think the minister struck all the right notes. But we should also realize that, look, America also has a right to issue travel advisory.
Yes.
But the big point that the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, made is that, look, Nigeria is a friendly nation to the United States. I don't think any American will be threatened in Nigeria. And he's right that, nobody is looking for Americans. We don't have a dog in the fight in the Middle East.
No, we
so
don't.
This is a safe place. However, the Nigerian authorities, apart from saying Nigeria is safe for Americans, should also learn from the Americans and issue a travel advisory for Nigerians who are living in Qatar.
Good point.
We have Nigerians in Qatar. We have Nigerians in Iran. We have Nigerians in Israel. In fact, if you go to Gaza, I'm sure you will find Nigerians there. We have a way of showing up like smallpox in every part of the world. Any nation
that there's no Nigerian is not a very strong nation.
And the Nigerian government has said
Nigerians everywhere.
Efforts will be made to evacuate Nigerians, to assist Nigerians who are in trouble zones. I think we should focus on that. And also learn from the example that this is called citizen diplomacy.
Yes.
You have the right to defend the interests of the people and protect them anywhere where they may find themselves. Let them not wait for a philanthropist to come and evacuate Nigerians before the Nigerian government does what is useful. After all, we have made 6.9 trillion in terms of revenue. First quarter of 2025. What are we doing with that 6.9 trillion?
Use that to evacuate your citizens really quickly. Well, all right, I love your point. Thank you very much, Dr. Abati. We'll take another story now. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Monday launched the renewed Hope Agricultural Mechanization Program in Abuja, distributing over 2,000 advanced tractors and more than 9,000 specialized farming implements. Tinubu stated during the launch that the deployment of modern agricultural equipment will make farming easier and more sexy for youth, moving away from 18th century methods. Let's take a look.
Well, we have here over 2,000 advanced tractors, 50 industrial-grade land preparation bulldozers, 12 fully equipped mobile workshops, 9,000 plus specialized farming implements. This equipment, when deployed, to empower mechanization and service providers, create job opportunities, make farmers easy and more sexy to our younger. You don't have to use 18th century method for a 21st century agricultural farming.
This is a laudable achievement, but I just wanted to say that our presidents love the word sexy. Sexy. Make it sexy for the youth. But in the meantime...
I don't think it was the one that used the word sexy.
Did you not hear him?
Well,
he just said, wait, hold
just
on.
to encourage young people. But let me quickly make a point. We were in this country when the administration before him, when they were distributing wheelbarrows,
yes,
and cutlass,
yes,
and hose.
Yes.
So it's good to see that there's an advancement, that the Tinubu administration is saying we should not adopt 18th century methods.
Yes, I like that.
We should have mechanized agriculture. He is distributing tractors, he's distributing modern implements. Yeah. The people who distributed wheelbarrows and cutlasses, well, you know them.
Yes, I know that. But these tractors look really sexy.
I don't want to mention it. Just to remind you.
Well, all right. The program actually is expected to bring over 550,000 hectares of farmland into cultivation, produce more than 2 million metric tons of staple food annually, and create over 16,000 jobs. The president also highlighted partnerships with countries like Belarus to provide training for young people in modern agriculture, technology, machine repairs, and fabrication. Let me take a tweet from this story. This is from Okechukwu, who wrote, good job. However, Nigerian farms and our forests must be cleared of bandits, terrorists, headsmen, Boko Haram, ISWAP, Ansari, etc. to enable the farmers use the farming equipment effectively and efficiently, which is the main point. These farmlands have to be safe and free. Before I come to both of you, I know Rufai wants to speak about the agriculture story, but I'll take this story before, for Vimbai. During the lunch, President Tinubu celebrated his longtime friend, Alex Sigman, who he said was a colleague from Chicago State University in Illinois. Tinubu described him as a very good neighbor, saying that he would never have dreamt of a time when he would be in the position of being president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, while Alex, a successful businessman from Belarus, will bring about collaboration and bilateral relationship that would promote economic prosperity for the future of the two countries. Let's take a look.
To all of you, Alex was my very good neighbor and went to the same school with me in Chicago. Never did we dream that I would be in this position as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Alex will be a successful businessman from Belarus to bring about a very successful collaboration and bilateral relationship that will promote economic prosperity and future of our two countries. Alex, thank you very much for everything. I believe our university will be very, very proud that we are doing this here today.
All right, Vimbai. I mean, you know, Chicago was actually trending over the weekend because of this particular story. I think Chicago University, but you know, it's nice to see the president and his classmate, he said, right? He was his
schoolmate.
Not classmate, schoolmate. Yeah. So they are different. So it could be younger, it could be older, it could be schoolmates. Go ahead.
You guys are violent. I'm a huge advocate for agricultural revolution. So for me, this is a step in the right direction. It's very important for us to mechanize because that's the only way we can improve yield, scale up. We're looking at food security, and the president had declared a state of emergency on food security about 2 years ago when he came into office. So it's taken about 2 years to get up to speed, but it's good to see him making good on that. On Mr. Alex Sigmund, he's no stranger to the African continent. He's done business in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Zimbabwe, Zambia even. I know he was arrested in the Democratic Republic of Congo at some point after meeting the former president, Joseph Kabila. In Zimbabwe, some of his transactions came under a huge scrutiny and criticism from the opposition. He also was an advocate who brought in, or rather a vehicle who was appointed as an honorary consul of Zimbabwe to Belarus, and he oversaw, tractors, combined harvesters, even fire trucks being brought into Zimbabwe. But there were questions because people said, where are the tractors? Who used the tractors after they were imported? That was number one. Number two, there were no contracts. There was no formal tender process. So there was transparency around how these deals were conducted. And to date, people are still asking these multi-million-dollar deals that involve these contracts and or these agricultural implements, but we never got to understand or to see the transparency in the relationship between Mr. Alex Sigmund and the government of Zimbabwe. Similar concerns in Zambia as well. So I do hope that all that was done, I hope he's learnt, his lessons from all of those allegations and criticisms from opposition parties in other African countries in the past. And I hope the transactions he has done with our government are above board and, have gone through all the necessary processes.
Right. Thanks for that breakdown, Vimbai. Rufai.
Thank you so much. At least we now see the president's schoolmate. So for all you that say all sorts of things about the president, we've seen his schoolmate. And if you feel that you're not still impressed by that, there are records out there in Chicago. Go check if Alex went to Chicago. But that's the president's schoolmate. And it's just a deja vu moment to be able to see that the president has a schoolmate and they're doing well, they're very successful. But I'll raise concerns. Number one, and I'll read from Nigerian newspaper clippings. On the 17th of December 2024, a Vanguard news story said Rep probes non-delivery of 2,000 tractors, orders despite 3 billion agreements. The agreement was estimated to cost Nigeria about $684 million and $138.6 billion as actual costs. That was in 2024. But also the interesting part is, and the interesting part about this, on the 10th of June 2024, the Nigerian Agricultural Development Fund and AGCOM's International Trading Limited also signed an agreement to procure another 2,000 tractors. That company is a John Deere sales rep in Nigeria. That was to cost $70 million. So we're having two transactions. I think the question for clarity is, the government should be able to explain to us, are these deals different? Secondly, the deal with Alex's company was to be able to build those tractors locally. And the question we're asking is, I know we used to have Steyr and Bauchi. Maybe you might say that it's already moribund and the likes, but we have Bobcat in Port Harcourt that also build tractors. Why can't we also look inward as regards this? And I'll ask the following questions. Number one, has the rep probe been cleared now with this delivery? How many has come in? Let's take stock of it. How will it be distributed? What's the tractor per kilometer? What's the tractor per kilometer? What's the cost per tractor? All right? Why Belarus? Couldn't we have gotten a better deal? Why didn't we look inwards? And where is the tender bid at which Alex's company did win the bid to be able to supply this tractor? And then, is this Alex's tractor deal different from that the federal government signed $70 million contract with AGCOMS for 2,000 tractors? And the question I also want to ask is, based on the reportage here, why is this one estimated to cost over $600 million and the other one cost $70 million? I think there are many questions we should be able to ask. And are those tractors being built here? Are they assembled here? Because they said it's going to be fixed here. Those are just the questions I want to ask.
Okay. Yeah, those questions are valid. We can even add more to the questions. The key question that has been raised here is about chronism. It's Mr. Alex, the schoolmate, getting this contract because he was a schoolmate of the president. Now, that would be favoritism. That would be cronyism. So his involvement in the entire process, how transparent and accountable is that? Two, the people talking about Chicago, I think, they're just being mischievous. It's not relevant. The election period is over.
Yes.
The Nigerian Constitution talks about the eligibility for the office of the president, Section 131. And those conditions is that you must be up to 40 years old, you must have school cert or its equivalent. Its equivalent just means even the ability to speak English. Although you may have attended one seminar or the other, and things like you should be a member of a political party. Within the purview of Section 131 of the Constitution, I think it's a settled matter that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu fits the criteria. Indeed, he is even better qualified than some people, who have been president of Nigeria before him. If we're going to say we will review Section 131, that's another argument. It's not something you can use perpetually to blackmail in an unlawful manner.
Yes.
The third point, finally, is this renewed hope mechanization program. The onus is on the president, the administration, to make sure that it works. You have made a valid point, Ojinika, about security, so that farmers can have access to their farms, so that all the other issues, including infrastructure, can be made available, because it's not just about farming. It's also about getting your produce from the farm to the market. All of those issues have to be worked out in terms of details. Right. And farming, food production, food security is just as important as energy security. And if the administration is focusing on that, I think we should encourage them.
Absolutely. Well said, you all. We'll head over to Abuja now, where the ongoing 3-month strike by primary school teachers in the Federal Capital Territory, which began on March 24th, 2025, has gained momentum after primary school children took their protest to the office of the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, on Monday to draw his attention to their plight. The teachers' indefinite strike is due to the failure of area council chairpersons to implement the new national minimum wage of 70,000 naira. Activist Martins Vincent Osher, popularly known as Very Dark Man, led the protest dressed in a school uniform alongside uniformed children. They staged a mock classroom session teaching an alphabet rhyme that included pointed references to political figures. Let's take a look.
A for Siwaju. B for Bola. M for mismanagement. C for Tinubu. C for Tinubu. W for Wike. If you add B to the back, you should be dead. W for Wike.
They have been out of school for 9 weeks. 9 weeks, so how many months? 9 weeks. 2 months and 1 week, Abi. Listen. The whole school in the whole entire FCT, the whole primary school, have been out of school for 9 weeks. And you say they'll be leaders of tomorrow.
All right, VDM had issued a 7-day ultimatum so that, the ministry and obviously the chairpersons can take account to what it is that the school children are asking for. And they said that they have listened. Hopefully, they'll resume session and pay the allocated minimum wage of 70,000 naira to the teachers really quickly.
Yep, I don't know how many hours VDM has in a day, but I don't think it's 24 hours. He has more hours because he moves from state to state and doing his advocacy work. So it's good to see this and, the creative way he did it, because I believe he also taught them a lesson while they were out there. So it wasn't just about bringing school children out. He tried to make it an educational experience. W for weekend. So, but I'm glad that the minister of the FCT has listened. And just a plea to him that in all of his infrastructural developments that we've seen happening, whether it be roads, whether it be the conference center and so forth, not to forget the developments that really impact the most vulnerable directly. Schools, hospitals. Let's not forget that these are top priority.
Yes, absolutely. Our children are our future leaders. Absolutely. Kudos to VDM for that activism right there. We'll take our good news report now, highlighting St. John Vianney Science College in Ukulu, Anambra State, as the school emerged the overall winner of the inaugural virtual UK-Nigeria Debate Championship. On June 19th, 2025, St. John Vianney Science College emerged as the winner of the debate competition held virtually, with the participation from top-ranking schools in Nigeria and the United Kingdom. The competition, jointly organized by Bring It On Africa and DebateMate UK, aimed to promote cross-cultural dialogue and enhance critical thinking, oratory and reasoning skills among students from both countries. The victory has been widely celebrated, with the wife of Anambra State Governor, Dr. Nonye Soludo, commending the students for showcasing the Anambra brand globally, highlighting that their achievement is a testament to the state's commitment to education and human capital excellence. I mean, I thought this was such a beautiful story when I saw it. Yeah. I mean, these students, this is a sort of initiative that you also hold with your, what do you call it, Oseni Center as well. This was so beautiful. And, I'd like to read out the names of the students who actually represented the school. One is Jennifer Catherine Obi Okafor, Benjamin Eneoli, and Valentine Onwebusi. The school is set to represent Nigeria in the extension debate rounds scheduled for December in London. This was beautiful. Congratulations to, the students, the school, the Anambra brand. Again, our children are our future leaders. All right, we'll take our milestone story now. Congratulations are in order for the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who has been awarded the 2025 Cressy Award by the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners for her lifetime contribution to the detection and deterrence of fraud. Well, the Cressy Award is the most prestigious accolade presented by the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, named in honor of Dr. Donald R. Cressy, a foundational figure in the ACFE and a leading expert in fraud. The award celebrates individuals who have made significant lifelong contributions to preventing and dictating fraud. Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is an economist and an international development expert with more than 40 years of experience. She previously served twice as Nigeria's finance minister, where she oversaw reforms to fight corruption and was instrumental in the Paris Club's $30 billion debt write-off for Nigeria. Okonjo-Iweala received the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Anti-Corruption Award from the Global Association of Certified Fraud Examiners on June 22nd at the 36th Annual ACFE Global Fraud Conference in Nashville, United States.
At the WTO, we are a strong multilateral organization.
The ACFE finds that more than half of internal fraud, 52%, is detected by vigilant employees, and ensuring channels for staff to report in good faith and to be protected from retaliation is a priority for us as a committee. Our Office of Internal Oversight is staffed by certified fraud examiners, led by Mary Joseph, who I like is with us virtually today. Our office is committed to investigating potential fraud promptly and rigorously, and they ask to the utmost professionals and very clever.
Congratulations, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. This is a prestigious award, and it speaks volumes of her character. Absolutely, congratulations. We don't have much time, Dr. Abatson.
Well, no, just to say congratulations to Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Honor well deserved. You have cited some of the things she did, yes. But I would like to refer everyone to our book, yes. 2018 book, titled Fighting Corruption is Dangerous, absolutely. Where she talked about her personal experience and provided advice as to what, those fighting fraud and corruption methods that they can adopt. Yeah. As for Dr. Awele Elumelu, yes. Well, congratulations to her. But I would rather address chairman of UBA Group, the husband, who is celebrating her. That I hope Chairman TOE knows that this has implications.
Implications, absolutely.
After a fashion.
Absolutely.
Implications.
You see, my problem is, the person that asks for implications, he doesn't give implications.
No worry. Dr. is up to the task.
That's just my, you know.
This was fun.
And you know, we have to have integrity. Integrity of implication. Congratulations, man. Congratulations, TOE. You are a great man.
Absolutely.
You have a great man.
But I organize implications for people.
All right.
Implications.
This was beautiful. I'd love to thank you all for a great time now.